Okay, tonight I just want to show you something quick here in Blender. So I'm just going to delete this and delete that. So what you can do is you can go into File, Preferences, and then under Add-ons, you can search for sapling and you can check this Add Curves Sapling Tree Gen. Once you have that added, now what you can do is you can go Add, down here to Curve, and then you can come down here to Sapling Tree Gen. And it's going to add a Sapling Tree Gen object. So don't click off of that, but come down here, bring up the box. This is the control box to generate it. So what you can do here is you can adjust the geometry, the leaves, whatever, the branches. So what I'm going to do for this one is I'm simply going to change this type, this preset, and I'm going to make this one a, I don't know, let's go with a Japanese, actually I'll go with a weeping willow. No, I'm going to go weeping birch. Weeping birch, okay. So now, what I'm going to do is I just need to roll out of that. That's fine. I can actually change the shape, how many branches it's got and all that. Branch rings. I don't need to worry about that. Branch distribution. Let's go to 3. That changes that up a little bit. Now I'm going to go in here to geometry. And I'm going to switch away from geometry and I'm going to go to branch splitting. And what I want to do is I want to turn this up. And then branch splits I'm going to go up to. And then that's going to give me a lot more branches on the tree. Now that's also going to actually up the mesh when we generate it. But we'll worry about that in a minute. Now I'm going to go from branch splitting to leaves. And what I want to do is I want to check this box here that says show leaves. Once I've turned that on, it doesn't have much for leaves on it at this point in time because only 16. So that could be like a late winter, early fall, but I'm going to change that to 500 leaves. And you can see now I've got a lot more leaves showing up here. So I don't really need to worry too much about the leaf distribution pattern. I'm probably going to turn that up from 500 though to 750. There we go, that's a little better. There's a lot more leaves on there. But I still don't like the distribution of the leaves. They're all along the branches. So what I want to do is go leaf shape. I'm going to leave that as hexagon. I don't need to do anything for leaf objects. Leaf distribution. I don't want to go inverse conical, I don't think. I think I want to go cylindrical maybe? No. Maybe spherical? That looks a little bit better. I could probably play around with that a little bit better. Inverse conical. No. Hemispherical. There we go. That looks a little better. So we'll go with hemispherical. Variation's fine. Don't worry about the leaf angle. So I'm pretty much done with that now. I mean, this isn't a spectacular looking tree, but it'll be all right for our purposes. I want to go back to the geometry, and I want to change the scale down. Yeah, I'm going to scale that sucker down from 11 to 3. There we go. I think that looks better for my purposes. A lot more leaves going on and a lot less tree. I'm going to go back into leaves now. And I'm just going to change that from 750 to 500 again. I like that. That looks a little better. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know that I need to mess with any more of that. I mean, there's more I could do, but I don't know that I need to. Yeah, I'm not worried about any of that. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go and I'm going to click on the object itself, and I'm going to open the node here, and I'm going to click on the leaves. Actually, I don't even need to worry about it, but I need to add a base material before I can export it. So what I want to do is come down here, material properties, then over here, add a new material, and I'm just going to choose a base color, and we're going to go with a green. Fine. Now I'm going to click on tree 2, which is the trunk. I'm going to add a new material to that as well. I'm going to go base color, and I'm just going to click over here, and I'm going to make this a brown. There we go. Perfect. So now what I'm going to do is click on the top of the tree, and I'm going to come over here to object, and I want to convert, I think it's under object. Basically what I want to do at this point is, I'm sure it was under object mode. Convert, yeah, there it is. Convert to a mesh. Okay. Perfect. All right, I believe it's done. Now then, I should be able to go into wireframe mode, and there it is, I've got a mesh. So now what I want to do is, because if you look here, I'm running quads, and RGP Bakin does not like quads. So what I'm going to do, click on my tree again, and I'm going to go object, and I am going to go to, where is it now? Maybe it's under add, mesh, and then I think, no, object. I forget exactly where to. Apply all transforms. Okay. Object. And now I want to go, where is, maybe it's under the modeling menu? Oh yeah, face, or is it UV? No, it's under, it's always under face, might be under mesh, transform, vertex, edge, I was sure it was under edge, unsubdivide, rotate, oh there it is, triangulate faces. Then we're going to go back into layout, object, and we want to apply all transforms. Where is it now? Transforms. Darn it, I was just in it. Ah, there it is. Apply. And under apply, of course, right? All transforms. Perfect. Okay, now if I come in here, look at the mesh. Well, they don't look overly triangulated, but they should be. So I'm just going to go File, Export to FBX. Here you want to be in copy mode. Uncheck this. Make sure this is checked. Select the mesh. And then we're going to call this Treetop 2. And I'm going to export that. All right. Now I'm going to minimize. And I'm going to go here in Bakin to Resources, Add. And I'm going to go Local File. And where did I export that to? Documents. Treetop 2. Add and exit. Okay, it's pretty massive, but it's scaled down as small as it can go. So I should have scaled it down smaller in Blender because, again, RGP Bakin has some really effed scale sense for importing and stuff. It's not like any other engine. It's got this weird thing where it's like 10 to 100 times bigger when it brings a model in than any other engine on the planet. So, but that's okay. We're just going to hit OK on that. Add all new. I might get a triangulate error. Yeah, I got the polygon error that I've not been triangulated. I'm going to have to look and see why my triangulation did not apply. But anyway, these are just temporary to show you how to make a tree and bring it in. So what I'm going to do here is I don't have a great tree leaf. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use material 1 should be the trunk. So I'm just going to go material 1 and I'm going to choose E drive, PBRs, and I'm going to add the yellow tree texture. Okay, that actually is the bark. So here we're going to go material 2, local files, and that's fine. We're just going to use that same texture. Okay, so now I'm just going to change that up. And then I'm going to change this one up. And there we have it. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring this in here. Bang. But I want to go to my selection, my scale adjustment. I'm just going to bring the whole thing down. Okay, now I'm just going to bring the height down so that the treetop, I'm going to go wider this way. Oh, sorry, that's the wrong tree. Sorry. That was the first tree I did to make sure this process worked. All right, let's try this again. Bang. Okay. Then we're going to select it here. We're on scale. Bring the whole thing down. Bring it in. Actually, I did that wrong. I want to scale the whole thing. I just did the top. Okay. There we go. So that's about the right height there. I'm just going to shorten it quite a bit. And then I'm just going to bring it out wider that way. Wider that way. Then I'm going to move it. So I'm going to move it. Come all the way over here. And then just over that way a little bit more. A little bit more. So I'm not really concerned with how these look too much up top, because don't forget, these are going to be much taller. So now I'm going to test play this. And now Jenny's going to run in here. And you can see the tree branch shadows on the ground and the tree branches up top. There's the deciduous tree. And there's the pine tree, fir tree, whatever. But again, I'm just going to exit out quickly, and I'm just going to adjust that. Bring that forward. I'm going to go to here. And we're just going to crank this up like it's a big giant tree. Then we're going to move this up. Move it over. And I need to just rotate around a bit here. That looks pretty good, I think. Sure, that's usable. Now this one, I'm just going to take it over here to this other tree. I'm going to go and click on this other tree, bring him way up. Bring this guy up. Sorry, it's taking a bit. There we go. That'll do the trick. Perfect. Good enough. All right. Actually, it's got to go a bit more this way. A bit more this way. Click down here. That'll do. It's not sticking out anywhere, I don't think. Perfect. All right. Good. Now then, test play that. And there we go. You see, you can't even see the tops, but what you can see is the shadows. And I guess if you went out far enough, or you wanted to make those lower down so the branches were a little closer to the ground for somebody walking, but you can see that you can't really see those trees locally anyway. You can see them way off in a distance, and all you'd probably see if you had enough of them was a forest. So you don't need to make You don't even need to make as many trees as that, right? But it's not a very big file size. So it's not going to be taking up too much resources. Whereas in the game engine here, let me just exit out. If you had a whole bunch of trees and they were branched all the way up, you, I don't want object treetop one. Okay. I'm gonna move Mr. Object treetop one. There. Now click on this, and I'm just gonna lower the. Oh, damn it. No. Somehow I'm still selecting that treetop. All right. There we go. Let's lower you down. I'm going to go to about there. So we're about twice as tall as Jenny now. And you can see that this will be the balancing act, right? Especially if considering everyone's going to have a different flow and vibe. There we go, good enough on that one. Quickly gonna do the same thing on this one. Let's just zip you way over this way. Click on this. Drop you down just a few. And then bring you right back over. Looks like I'm in the middle there. Drop you down. Perfect. Okay, we'll do a quick test play, see how that looks for Jenny. There you go. And so there's some branches up ahead, right? So you're walking through a deciduous forest. There's some branches up ahead. I would definitely do a better job of scaling that then, and making it a little better in Blender, pumping out the base maybe, playing around with that. But you can see how that would work out really good. And then there, same thing, the coniferous tree. You know, you've got that top happening, and you know, because in game, is she really going to see much more than that as she's walking? Now, of course, you could just use these as trees. So if you wanted to, I mean, you don't need to have the giant forest. You can just take this tree and plunk it on a plot of land somewhere. And we're going to go to scale. And we're just going to go scale it up a little bit. And then scale the height back up. Back to move. There we go. Test play. And there you go. Oh, I'm a little high off the ground with it. Let me just fix that. Hold on. It looked like it was not on the ground. Guess I should have checked it from multiple angles. There we go. Touching the ground. Just gonna move you. Oh, here. Move you out here. And I'm gonna scale you up just a bit taller here. Perfect. Alright, test play. And there you have it. Oh, I got a big box collision on that right now, so she can't get any closer, but as you can see, looks pretty decent. You'd play around a bit more with the textures and things to get them just how you want them. However, it is a good way to flush out your forest. It is a good way to add some content. But how I want to use them, I'm going to tweak them a little bit better, get them all set up so that I can use them for my treetops. So that'll mean using the same texture for the bark and stuff. I just quickly threw a couple of examples together to make this video as I'm playing around, fine-tuning my process. But that's it. So have a good night, and I'll see you in the next one.